Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry. It has been well over a month since I posted. I have actually done a talk for the church, so I am going to be putting that up. Obviously, it's going to be played on Sunday. So after the it's been played on the church thing on YouTube live stream, then I'll put that up on my channel as well. Um, but yeah, I've spent a lot of time doing that. I've been tired. Kids have been off school. Um, just like with other like people having COVID and stuff like that, so they've had to isolate and stuff like that. But yeah, so I do apologise. This is going to be a really quick one because the next one's half an hour. So I thought I'd better just like make a little one. But just wanted to touch base and say hi. Hope you're doing all well. What I wanted to talk about very quickly is I said that obviously on this channel I wanted to do stuff that was really applicable, that God had really sort of like spoken to me and that I was aware of. And one thing that I've been really aware of is the church family. And apologies for the hair, sorry. Yeah, and basically just the fact that as a single parent, for me, and being able to meet the needs of my girls, whether that be financially, whether it be emotionally, whether it be mentally, whether it be being able to help with certain things to do with school, just like basic tasks. God has stepped in and has enabled my girls to have the bigger family. So if you think about it, like if there was like a mum and a dad, then you've got the mum side, you've got the dad side, you've got brothers, sisters, cousins, whatever. Obviously, my girls haven't had that. So God has stepped in. How great is God? God has stepped in and He has met that need in my girls. Before obviously the male figure, like Gary Tucker, and Matthew Duncanson Hunter. We've got Gareth Lane. We have got Terry Brown. We've got people that have really the male sort of role models that have really stepped up and kind of like looked out for my girls, and I really appreciate that. But God has supplied that for me, and our family. When you look at being invited to things, you know when it comes to big things, like Christmas Day and things like that, then obviously other people have got their families, their actual families and stuff like that. So that's fair enough. But just to be involved, to go away weekends, church weekends or whatever, and eat together and like worship together and just do all living together. New Wine, absolutely love it. The kids absolutely love it. They always have. Even though it's camping, I'd love it if it was a hotel and we got to see each other and you go back and you get the home comforts. But no, you've got to lie on the ground. But actually, just getting up in the morning, coming out, and especially for me, coming out and actually seeing somebody and saying hello, that doesn't happen normally. So, small things like that actually people take for granted. God has met that need through the church family. Just even like within the last day, obviously as a single parent, being able to take my kid out driving lessons and stuff, and one of the people in the church, and their daughter's got a car, and literally Brooke is now on the insurance and is going to be able to, learn to drive, um, obviously, through getting a job. Again, was a God thing, through doing food bank. It's like I offered to do food bank, and then the manager of the place that we do it in the coffee shop, Brooke, got a job. And it's like I did something for God, and the way I look on it is that I did something for God, and actually God really blessed that by giving that I was there at the right time, the right place, and I was able to get Brooke basically a job. And obviously she's gone on and earned that right for herself by being employed. But as a result of that, she could then, pay for a year's insurance for herself to learn to drive, which means now I will be able to teach her to drive, which I always wanted to do. And I mean, it's not a small thing. All these little things are just like, that is God. God has supplied. If I didn't know all these people, then these things wouldn't fall into place. And God has placed me in this place so that actually I can teach my daughter to drive. She has got a job when obviously I'm really blessed that I can say that my daughter's got a job at the age of 17, as well as going to school, because obviously so many people are furloughed and stuff. And I can, just so blessed, and so emotionally. If my girls have got a problem, and I'm really lucky, they do come to me, they open up to me, they talk to me. But even with schooling, I'm useless at school, right? I was just such a rebel, as you'll have seen from my testimonies. And yet, my girls doing her A levels, and they're both really clever. But Brooke really finds it hard to sort of learn to study. And to be fair, yes, I did muck about at school and I didn't study. And, I can think of certain ways to study, but like I don't really know ways of going about it. And so again, people in the church have offered for her to go down like this weekend, and they'll teach her how to study. And it's ways like that. So shout out Susanna and Matthew, thank you for doing that for my girl. And that's church family. So it's like God really provides. And I'd really encourage you to sort of reach out and to be maybe the one that's given the help, or maybe be one that receives the help. And God will provide. I never thought that my kids, would be able to, like, in a sense, financially be supported, emotionally, be supported, like, in a sense, mentally, like helping practically, um, just like in so many ways, God has stepped up and really helped me. And I'm just really, really thankful. And, obviously it says, in His word about there being many, many branches. I am the vine and you're the branches. And actually there are so many branches, but those branches come together, and those branches, are the family of God. And we're meant to be a family. We're meant to support each other and be there for each other. Now if I lived in a big family, as in like obviously a family, like born into, like some people have got like 4 brothers and sisters, whatever, and family and close aunties and uncles and stuff, then if somebody's good at something, then they'll step in and offer to help their niece, their nephew, or whatever. And or they'll hand things down, or they'll do this and do that. And they'll get presents of this, that. And they'll, if they lived in Australia or whatever, I'll come out and I'll put you up and all this kind of stuff. So all the practical things. And yet within God's family it's the same. And I am living testament to that, being a single parent, my kids and myself. through Church in Bearfield, I have been supported and I have been helped. I've been nurtured, emotionally, and like in every single way. And so yeah, I just want to really come on and just say, God's family is, He gave us family for a reason, and the fact that I didn't have it automatically by being in a like, if you can call it a human big family, um that actually God still provided for me, and how much, He loves me that much that He wants to provide for me, He wants to provide for my girls, and He does that through His church family. And so I just wanted to come on and say, it's awesome. God will look out for you, whatever circumstance you're in. Don't fear, because God's with you, and God will help you, and God will support you. And when you think, all is lost, then, God sends people. He puts, he just, people will come into your path that are meant to be in your path. Nothing happens in this life without a reason. I've always said that. Everything happens for a reason, and it's what we do with what happens to us that makes the difference. And so I just want to come on and share that little thought with you. The other thing that I actually had, I am listening to a book of a Christian policeman that has was around when the bombings went off and stuff like that. And one thing that he said was, he commented on tracing, and he said that basically, SOCOs, he was telling us that, in his book, about how, the first murder he went to, the first time he had to go and tell parents that their child had died, and all the different things that had happened in his police career. And obviously he had to work with different sections, and he worked with SOCO. So, the people that come in the white suits and the blue shoes, and, they come in and they get traces of different things, looking for blood, looking for hair, looking for any evidence that can, can like help solve a crime. And just the fact that actually, we leave behind, everybody leaves behind their DNA and leaves behind the strand. And I thought, all we've heard recently through the coronavirus thing is track and trace, track and trace, track and trace. And so the word trace really jumped out at me, and it really stayed with me. I mean, the guy in his book doesn't, even though he's a Christian, he says he goes to church. That's the only sort of Christian reference there is in the book. But the word trace, and it just really struck me that actually, we all leave, like a trace of us behind. We leave our DNA, and I just want to challenge you. What are you leaving behind? In a sense, when you go out tomorrow, and you speak to somebody, or later on today, and when you speak to someone, within the next 24 hours, what are you leaving behind of your, Christian life? Somebody said to me that actually, when it comes to the end of your life, is there going to be enough there to convict you of being a Christian? And I just thought that was really, really, really important to actually, what am I leaving behind? What trace am I leaving? What am I leaving once I've been talking to somebody? What trace am I leaving when I've, passed someone in the street? What trace am I leaving when I talk to somebody at a supermarket? I mean, it's a basic thing, but that's actually what our Christian life is about. It is about our daily interactions with people. How do we treat people? How do we speak to people? How do we, what impression, what trace, what DNA are we leaving? What kind of person are we being? And, because we are representing Christ. And I just wanted to share that with you as well. Okay, take care, guys. And what I'm sharing with you as well, I just want to say that, just because I'm coming on and I'm saying it, and I can only say what's real for me. But I want to say it to encourage you guys. But actually, what he does for me, he'll do for you. And so if you're a single parent, then God will meet your needs. He will meet your needs in every single way if you ask him. And being involved in a church, I just suggest you reach out to your local church, because being part of a church is like being part of a community and is being part of a family. And yeah, it's just the best thing that I've had since I've lived here, has been part of Church in Berryfield. So I just want to leave that with you. Take care, guys. See you later. Bye.